and build a lasting legacy, all while doing this shit that you love. Okay, so we're going to walk you through these five steps one by one. We're going to spend a wee bit of time on each one of these things. This is going to be a writer downer though, Jay. These dudes usually have a pen
and paper.
Definitely. And we would love to get this interactive with you dudes. So if you have any questions in any of this shit, make sure you use the chat box. If you listen to this back in the podcast, you can listen to us live in the EFPA coaches community. What about you, Owen? Okay, so why are we doing this? Well, this is the thing. We notice with the people that we've worked with over the last 3 or 4 years, and especially coming off the back of the last mastermind, there's things that the guys in our mastermind do, like the highest earners, and they range from 7.5k a month to one of the top guys there did 45k sales, if I'm not wrong, there 45k sales in the month of January in 1 month. So really what we wanted to do is look at the commonalities between the top earners in our mastermind crew and share those habits and behaviors with you, so that you could start to try and get those kinds of results. Because like we say, success leaves clues. Isn't that it?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay, so will we dive into the first fucking thing here, will we?
Let's get stuck in, man.
Alright, so number one, we haven't written these down, so you need to listen to these. So the first thing is what we call addition by subtraction. What the fuck is that, Jay?
Well, think about it this way. It's instead of asking yourself the question of what can I add in, alright? So everybody's always looking for new things, for shiny things, for more. And really, the chances are that you're not getting the results that you want to get currently because there's certain work that you're not doing. Alright? So adding more stuff into the mix is probably going to end up just stressing you more, meaning you're not going to actually get the result. So instead of saying to yourself, what can I add in? Start asking yourself, what can I take out? So what stuff can you drop off? Now, stuff that you can drop off probably falls into a few categories. But if we start off, there's work that you can delegate. Okay? So work that you can delegate is somewhat important, alright, but it doesn't mean you have to do it. So an example could be, if you're running a medium-sized gym, we will say something that has about 50 members. There's going to be emails coming in, there's going to be leads coming in, there's marketing to do, there's sales calls to do, there's consultations, there's actually training people, and then there's some back-end support. So if you were to categorize and try and block off and chunk all the tasks that it takes to run your business or run your gym into blocks, and then ask yourselves 2 questions. Which ones do you not like doing, and which ones do you like doing? So now you've got 2 lists. And then say, listen, for the stuff that you don't like doing or you're not good at, how can you drop those tasks? Alright? So could you hire somebody to help you in with the administration tasks? And for a lot of people, that would probably be the most sensible hire to get at the beginning. So maybe you get someone part-time, 15 or 20 hours a week, that looks after all the admin, which would free you up to train people. And then as you get more numbers in, then take on another coach. So that's the kind of delegation part. But then there's stuff that is just absolutely a time drain, a waste of your time, and they can fall into loads of different categories. But a simple example would be getting on social media and arguing with someone back and forward, for hours or days. And look, we have all done it. Yeah. Hands up. All right, we've all done it. But ultimately it's a waste of your time
and your energy, and brain cells.
Even more importantly, it's a waste of productive energy and focus. So you're focusing in on giving out to this person who's you're never going to meet, you're never going to be able to change their opinion. It's a complete waste of your time. But then we have obviously tasks that we're doing which are just time wasting. It's like if you're up late at night watching 4 and 5 episodes of something on Netflix.
The Witcher. That's the one everybody's watching.
That's the one at the moment. Chances are you're not getting up fresh and able to do your work in the morning. If you're spending hours and hours on social media watching what other gyms are doing, chances are you're not focused on your own business.
There's Ray Moylet. What about you, Ray? Give us a thumbs up, man. I haven't seen you in ages.
So there's 2 categories that you can think of. Stuff that you need to delegate, stuff that you need to delete. And if you were to just make those lists and then say to yourself, instead of having a to-do list, start with a not to-do list, that's going to help you.
And this is key to say here. See what Jay just said? What is your not to-do list? This is an action we want you guys to do now. So this isn't just going to be us giving you a little information. We want you to take some action. So by the end of this, you're going to have practical things you can do to start getting results today. First action we want you to do is to write that not to-do list. So analyze the shit you're doing, like Jay said, and what is the stuff you're going to stop doing. Now, an important thing just to point out here is a lot of the times we get people on here and see the way we said, doing the shit that you love most. That's really key. We've got to find out the stuff that we love most and stop doing the shit that we hate or we're not good at. And that is really the fucking key. It's so easy to do. Just too many people overlook it, and they're trying to do everything. You can't do everything and try and grow your business without the proper plans. And this is the first stage of those proper plans, isn't it? Yeah. Otherwise, you just go into 2020 with these big visions and big goals and absolutely no idea how you're going to make it true, other than I'm going to hustle fucking harder. You can't hustle harder and do all the useless shit and try and do everything. Or another thing is, like, if you continue to do this shit that you hate, you're turning your dream job into a desk job sometimes. It's like most of us get into this because they love coaching, and then all of a sudden people are telling them to become this salesperson or marketer. Maybe that's not what you want to do at all. You need to find out the shit that you really want to do and make sure that you're spending your time on that stuff.
Alan Sherry's on there. I forgot to text him back today. I will text you after this call.
That's a to-do.
He's looking for dates for courses. So
all right, cool. But Alan,
remind me.
So does that make sense? I want to hear. Does that make sense? The not to do list and like figuring out what you really love to do and make sure that you don't end up turning your dream job into a desk job, because you can actually like just destroy everything you fucking ever loved about fitness and the fitness business by doing that shit. Okay, we're done there?
Yep, that is a wrap on that one.
We've just told you that there is addition by subtraction. That's how to get more shit done and build a business while doing the stuff you love. Stop doing all the shit you shouldn't be doing, the useless stuff. So the next one is like, and we noticed this with one of the guys, and I know we've mentioned him a few times, it's your man Adam. Like, Adam is a 21-year-old dude. He qualified out of elite just last June. And within 12 weeks, he was able to grow his business to a 4K recurring revenue model. Like 4K recurring revenue. That's like, he knows he's going to make at least 4K every single month. He had people signed up. He done everything he told them to. He done it perfectly. How has somebody like Adam, who was sitting in the room at the weekend alongside someone who'd been in the industry for 12 years, and he had got to the point which took that guy 12 years, he got to that point inside of, well, the first 12 weeks that he put that plan together, and then after working with us for another 3 months, so we're talking 6 months, he had done more. He had done what had taken the guy beside him nearly 12 years. Isn't that right? Like, and how did that happen? He acted fast. He acts faster than anyone else in the group.
So the whole idea, I suppose, act fast is in any situation. Look, we've got loads of decisions to make. And really what we have to do is we have to decide faster on what we want, okay? And then start taking some action towards that, all right? So really what you have to do is decide, then do something, then maybe fail, okay? And then what we need to do is pivot, recognise where did we fail, what can we take from it, and then go again. And move through that cycle super, super fast. Now look at, you know, most of us here, we're not running big, huge organisations like the time the government went out and bought a load of machines to do fucking internet voting or something like that, and then they never used them, alright? That's not what we're dealing with here.
Did that happen?
Alright, that actually happened. They're in a warehouse somewhere. Alright, it's like, I don't know if that's going to be a good idea. But listen, that's not what we're dealing with here. We're dealing with smaller things where people are asking themselves questions like, you know, what's a better app to use for my clients to book in? Is it Zen Planner or is it MindBody? Or is it this one? Is PayPal better than Go Cardless? Those decisions, you know, should take you no more than an hour. I remember talking to a trainer in the gym a few weeks ago, and he goes, oh, I must look at that app you were talking about. And I says, well, when are you going to do it? He goes, oh, well, I just need a bit of time. I was like, well, fuck, how much time do you need? And I kind of cut him off.
A day? He said a day.
A day to look at an app. It's like, dude, it's like fucking half an hour.
What is there to fucking decide here? It's like, I like the look at that one. I'm going to pick that one. Yeah. Just fucking do it.
You know, you're not married to your ideas. It's not like you fucking, you know, you can't move back or move away from them. And this actually came up in a book I'm reading at the moment, which is called Range. Alright, David Epstein, you should check it out. So, within this, what he's kind of saying is that, you know, generalists in the long run win over and specialists will fall flat on their face. And this can come to decision making as well, that when we looked at this and they measured over a long period of time, people who take up tasks, alright, and then drop them off super fast within business or any aspect of life are actually much, much happier and they're much more successful. Now, we're not saying that they drop a task because it's hard, alright, that's totally different. They drop a task because it's not going to be fulfilling or it's not going to get them to their end goal, alright? There's a better option. So they're always looking for better options. And really, there's a fallacy of this idea of a sunk cost. So a sunk cost is I've put time and energy and investment and maybe even money into a project, so I'm just going to have to keep hammering away on it. And in reality, it will only end up pulling in more money, pulling in more energy, and it probably won't get you to where you want to go. So if there's something that's not working for you, drop that fucking thing fast and pivot and shift and go and get something that is going to work. Act fast, peeps.
It reminds me of that expression, like, you know, the Titanic's going down here, but you're rearranging the fucking deck chairs in the past and thing.
Yeah,
it's like
very
the
often.
fucking ship is sinking and you're fucking around with the deck chair.
Yeah, you know, people putting on their makeup and their jewellery and all. It's like, Mrs., you know, you're all going to freeze to death. The fucking makeup is no, you know, we don't need it. Get out.
The app doesn't matter. The fucking pay thing doesn't matter. Just fucking pick one and move on and start getting results. Like, we always used to say this, like, fiddle. FIDAL, fuck it, do it live. Just get something out there, like Jay said. Decide, do, and when you feel you've got a load of information now to actually make proper informed decisions about the changes you're going to make, and don't be afraid to course correct while you're getting that shit out there.
And we can all see this in practice in real world, in big huge businesses. You know, you've got app developers and they launch an app and the app is not 100% ready, but they launch it in anyway because what they're going to do is fix it as it's going. It will fail in certain ways, things won't work, and then they will fix it. Because you get 20 developers, 100 developers, a whole team, 200, a whole department of developers in a big huge company. They will argue back and forward till the cows come home about what is the right thing to do. Oh, can we just add in this? Can we just add in that? And in reality, usually simplicity wins through. Think of like an iPhone, which is fairly simple, you know, you just touch the screen, as opposed to a BlackBerry. It's like, loads of buttons all over it. Who the fuck knows what BlackBerry are doing now? They're doing nothing. Nothing.
Sweet fuck all.
So
don't let perfection be the enemy of progress in that stance. I think we kind of covered 2 and 3 there, didn't we? We said, like, act faster and don't get caught up in the minutiae, did we?
Well, I suppose
we move on that?
No, we're going to move into that now. And
first, the action. Give them the action. What do they need to do? They need to. So point number 1, just to recap: addition by subtraction. Point number 2 is act faster. Just fucking get it out there. So I want you to write down now, what is the action or the thing that you've been putting off? Write down something that you know is major that could drive your business forward that you've been putting off.
Nice.
Yes. Okay, going on to number 3, Jay.
Yeah, so I suppose number 3, and these, like, all of these things blend into each other, alright? But number 3 and number 2 are quite close, but they're different at the same time. So it's this idea of don't get caught up in the minutiae. So again, it's like people asking themselves all sorts of questions about an app, or all sorts of questions about a training program, you know, all sorts of questions about a diet. At the end of the day, we've just got to start doing something, we've got to start using something, and then we can fix it on the move. Alright? So we need some sort of system or process before we can start optimizing the system or process. Because you could have a system or a process for training people, or for running a business, or for trying to earn money, and you know, you're trying to fix it and tweak it, and you just won't know where that system is going to break down until it's tested at some point in time. In some ways, it's kind of like fucking, you know, Mike Tyson saying, it's like, you know, everybody's got a plan until they get a punch in the mouth. Alright? And then it's like, oh shit, the plan goes out the window. The exact same thing. So unless you've been metaphorically punched in the mouth a few times by your business, you're not going to be able to react, you're not going to be able to pivot, you're not going to be able to make the right decisions. And in order to get a few punches in the mouth, you've got to get yourself in the fight.
Definitely. So listen, stop wasting time in needless bollocks. Right? So we've got number 1, you've got your not to do list. Next thing you said, like, what is the action that you've been putting off? The action we want you to do now is, like, write down when you're actually going to do it. It's got to go in the diary. You've got to put when, the day and the time that you're going to actually do that fucking thing. Otherwise, it's just going to sit there, it's going to get pushed, it's going to go on the long finger, and fuck all is going to happen. And it's not going to be urgent now, but months in the future, that is really damaging for business. When you're not doing the developmental shit, right? Something comes to market and all of a sudden, you're like a distant fucking thing in history. You're gone. People's innovated and moved beyond you. Okay, so that is the third one. Number 4. This is. Do you know? I'm gonna tell a story. I remember there was this one time. Me and Jay were on a call with a dude called Alex Hermosi, who owns a thing called Gym Launch and Gym Lord. Like, the dude has won Russell Brunson's 2 Comma Club thing, which means he's earned over $1 million on a funnel, and he's actually earned a 3. Hasn't he got a 3 Comma Club? So he's made over 10 million in 2 or 3 businesses. This guy is fucking. And we were sitting on the call and we were going, yeah, but Alex, that's all right for you in America, right? But you see, it's different for us here. And Alex was like, sorry, I couldn't hear you over the massive deafening sound of your limiting self-belief. So it's like, you've got to drop the story of your limiting belief. And that story put it perfect for us. I mean, it's not any different from you. I know we talked about the guy, you know, who's making 45k in our group. Who, by the way, you weren't here yesterday. He turned up on a fucking Aston Martin DB9. Did he? Yeah, he fucking did. I was like, you just drove out here to wind me up, didn't you? And he's like, I'm driving that until my Tesla comes. I'm like, for fuck's sake. Got a V12, 6 litre, 600 brake horsepower, silver convertible.
I don't like him anymore. I don't like him anymore.
And, you know, I talked about, you know, Adam there, who's only 21 years old, who, like, only works 15 hours in the fitness industry, and no shit, he's made 7.5k this January, right? You could sit and say to yourself, it's different for him. But he got lucky. You know, that's fucking bullshit. It is not any different for them. It's kind of like, do you know when you're talking to a client who is struggling with weight loss and you're saying, look at fucking, you know, Jen there, she's lost loads of weight. Like, I mean, this is what she did. And the client goes, yeah, but you see, it's different for me because I've got a thyroid problem, or I've got this thing, I'm special, I've got this special need, and you can't cater for me because my circumstances are all totally different and it's never going to work for me. You know that is bullshit, and if they actually follow the nutrition plan and they turn up for the training, and the training that you have is results proven and battle tested, if they do the fucking work, they get the result. So you've got to drop your bullshit story, trust the process, and just act faster, you know, make decisions faster and do the fucking work. Really, that is the key.
Yeah, look, I don't think we need to add anything to that. So that is number 4. It's about dropping your bullshit story. It kind of reminds me of the time that I think Leon fucking is there and he was in the gym and he was doing lying dumbbell leg curls. It's like, Leon, man, we can't let you do that.
Leon was doing that. Leon Stankard.
Yeah, it's like, where did you get them exercises from? He said somebody told him to them. I was like, dude, you cannot do them in here. Yeah. And then he jumped straight up and he put 175 kilos in a bar and just started doing RDLs. It's like, that's the way forward.
Good lad. That's a nice recovery.
Yeah, he recovered well.
He went back up in my estimations after that story.
He's an A player now.
Adam Salihovic, this is brilliant, boys. Mate, we only do fucking awesome and piss excellence.
Yes.
So yeah, we've got drop your story. Now, the action we want to ask you is, what is the bullshit story that you keep telling yourself? What is your excuse? What is your version of, like, fucking you've got a thyroid problem? What's the thyroid problem in your business? Like, what is that bullshit story? Just fucking write it down. Okay.
Okay, and I suppose the thing for most of these things that we're going through here is that you can't actually see them yourself very often, alright? Or you don't want to see them. You kind of insulate yourself from them. You hide away from them. Yeah. You kind of hide in your own little bullshit bubble. And your own little bullshit bubble is either made from intelligence. Oh, well, you know, it's different for me. You know, I'm going to do it when. You start asking yourself, it's different because, or it's just pure ignorance. You just don't know what you don't know. All right? So the 5th and maybe even the most important thing that all the guys that are successful that have ever been in the group and the guys that are in the group currently do is they are willing to hire a coach. Okay? They're willing to hire a coach with some outside eyes that can look in on their business and help pull it apart, help them realise or help them see where they're falling down. It kind of reminds me, Sean was just telling me about a story this morning. He had a guy come in and the guy was young, he had this great business idea, a lot of potential, and when he started asking a few questions, the guy started to realise, oh fuck, you know, maybe this isn't going to work out the way I thought it was. Maybe this isn't going to work out to be this big, huge, successful business. It's not going to be as easy as what I thought it was in my mind. Because listen, it's easy to convince yourself of these wonderful ideas in your mind. Mm-hmm. It's much harder to put them out on paper, but it's much harder again to actually tell somebody who's going to try and pull it apart and ask you some questions about it. And if you cannot, I suppose, even deal with that, it's never going to work when it goes out to market and actually people are turning around and go, listen, I'm going to have to give this person money for this thing, whatever this thing is.
Like, the thing I wanted to know, because you explained this brilliantly, like, is how to go pro. You know, what would a pro do? If you want to be pro at anything, you've got to get a fucking coach. And like what you said there, Jay, is perfect, because sometimes you can't see the perspective that somebody else will show you when they're not emotionally connected to it. So you need outside objective perspective on your business to see the obstacles that you don't currently see, or the opportunities that you have no idea that are sitting right there at your fingertip that you have the ability to exploit. But just because this saying always resonated with me, you can't read the label from inside the jar. You're stuck in your business, just like being inside a pickle jar, let's say, and you can't read the label from the outside. You need outside eyes to tell you, dude, I can see exactly where you are, and without bias of emotion, I can tell you from an objective standpoint, this is what I see. Like, just like when you have somebody fucking coaching you on Olympic lifting, Like that guy that we were talking about, the business he was coaching me in a bit of boxing. And like after 30 minutes, my shit was totally fucking different. He was like, fuck, I love coaching you because you take it on board. That's all a coach wants. A coach wants somebody who takes the information on board and puts it into practice and gets results. And if you see improvement upon improvement with that, you're one step closer to turning pro. So that is it. The other thing I suppose that a coach can help you do is make the decisions that you've been putting off. Make you see the shit that you're avoiding and then make the decisions that you've been putting off. So just to recap, we've showed you that there's addition by subtraction. We've told you that you need to act faster. That's the commonality between the guys in the group that are doing the best. They don't get caught up in minutiae and they drop any stories of limit and belief. And lastly, yes, they hire a coach. Now, we've asked you to ask some questions. The first one was to write down your not to do list. What are you going to stop doing so you free up the time to do the stuff and focus on the stuff that actually matters and it could drive your business forward? Like, what's the one thing you could start doing and stop chasing too many things so that you actually nail the thing that you have the biggest, performance development in your company or your business? Then the next thing we asked you is like, what action have you been putting off? Then we told you to write it in the diary on a time that you're actually going to do that fucking thing. And the last question is, who have you been thinking about reaching out to? Like, has there been somebody that has been giving you help and advice, or that you think could help you, that you trust? And there's an important part in that, isn't it? What was it you said to me the other day?
In terms of
a coach needs to be somebody you trust and...
Well, a coach needs to be somebody that you trust, but in many ways, the best coaches are going to be somebody that you don't want to let down. So if there was a situation where you let them down, it would actually, annoy you, it would upset you in some way, shape or form. And that's going to mean then, and ultimately in order for them to be that person, you've got to respect them. Alright, so you've got to respect them, you've got to know them a little bit, you've got to know that they care back about you, alright? They care about your success, they care about the people that you're trying to help, and in doing so, it just creates that extra little bit of emphasis or extra little bit of pressure to kind of keep you on point and to do the tasks that you need to do on a week-to-week basis.
Yep, love it. So who's that dude? Write his fucking name down and reach out to that person today. That's what I would suggest. If you do that shit, you're going to see fucking incredible growth. Week on week, month on month, year on year. That is us. We've no questions in here, man, and we have got to go to our staff meeting right now, and that was 25 minutes of pure fucking gold. 22 odd minutes. Dudes, thank you very much. It's been awesome.
See you later, guys. Peace out.